Hey friends. So today I wanted to make a video giving some insight and some steps on how to clean and build your credit. So disclaimer, by no chance am I a credit restorator, financial planner, or anything. I don't get paid for any of these videos that I do. This is just me sitting with you guys and just talking about things that have gone on in my life and things that I had to find out on my own. So, we're going to start with the first 5 steps you need to do to start the ball rolling on getting your credit fixed. So step number 1 is you need to pull your credit. I know a lot of you guys probably haven't pulled your credit since you applied for that car or applied for that credit card and possibly got denied or whatever the case may be. But you need to pull your credit. You need to see what's on there. We need to take a sit down and really think about the things that's on there and how you're going to fix those things. So that's step 1. Step 2 is, so let me take it back. So you guys can go on freecreditreport.com. Every year they give you a free credit report. If you already had one, then you'll probably have to pay. But you can also use Credit Karma or any of those other credit websites that offer free credit reporting, or you have to pay. So that's step 1, pulling it. Step 2 is once you pull it, you need to print it out. Once you print it out, I want you to get a pen and possibly a notepad, and I'm gonna need y'all to sit there and really go through the things that's on there, starting with your name, making sure that it's spelled correctly, make sure that your name is in a sequence of how you have it on your license or your birth certificate, your first name, middle name, last name. Make sure that your birthdays are correct. Make sure that your addresses are correct. If you have 4 or 5 addresses on there, you don't need those. You only need one address, one name, one birthday. Your employers, make sure that all of those are correct. Me personally, I don't want any of my employers on there unless it's my current employer, which I've had over 5 years. So let's just say in the past 5 years, any employers you may have, you may want to keep them on there, but you can also take those off too. And then you want to go into the collections that you have on there. Go through them, really read them, see what they were. Were they your bills? Was that the bill? Did they add money to it? Did they put your name on in somebody else's bill? Family members, all of those things happen. True story, that happened with me and my sister. Me and my sister names are actually spelled the same. I just have two different letters added to the end, and I had a bill from her that I had to send that company my ID and birth certificate to show them this is not me, this is not my bill, because we both had accounts with that company, and they added hers onto mine, possibly thinking that maybe I was trying to get over and having 2 accounts when one got closed. So once you sit there and you dissect your whole credit report from the top to the bottom, from the name to the creditors, then you want to, wherever you printed out your credit report with, if it was freecreditreport.com or comma or whatever the case it is, you want to dispute everything on there. That's your 3rd step. Dispute everything. Even if it's correct, dispute it. The reason why you want to dispute everything is because how the credit bureaus work is, once you dispute something on your credit report, they contact those people. And let's just say you have a bill from Verizon, and you dispute it and say this was never your bill, or you had already paid it. They will contact Verizon and be like, hey, Verizon, Tara says she didn't have this bill. Send us proof that this is her bill. If Verizon doesn't get back into contact with them with the proof or with any of those things they ask in a timely manner, the credit bureaus will take it off. Just take it right off. So why not try your hand? You want to dispute everything. Like I said, dispute your names, any of them that's misspelled or whatever, you want to dispute it. Because if you have an alias, like I have an alias, Tara is my alias, and let's just say somebody's real name is Tara and we have the same last name, Tara Hooks, and they have a Comcast bill, and here it is, they put her bill onto mine. I don't want it like that. So any alias, any misspelled names, wrong birthdays and addresses and all that, you want to not be associated with those things. So dispute all of that. That's step 3. The dispute process could take 30 to 45 days. So once you do that, you want to wait until they contact you back to say that your dispute, the decisions were brought in, and they'll tell you either yay or nay if those objects were taken off. So then at that point, step 4, you want to re-pull your credit. You wanted to compare it to the first time you pulled it to see what was dropped off, what was taken off, what was fixed, all those things, and you want to keep notes of all this. Okay, so after you do that, your 5th step is to look on your credit report, the updated one, and under your creditors, you want to go in line and contact all of them. You want to make sure that those counts are in good standing. You want to get on a payment plan. If you can, you want to settle and get a zero balance, get the thing knocked off completely. Those are the things that you have to do to get your credit to be looked at, because nobody want to give you more credit when you didn't even take care of the last credits. And the thing about how creditors do is they keep on your report how long you've had the account. So if you had a Comcast bill for 5 years and only kept it current for 2, in the past 3 they have not received any payments from you, that looks bad. That looks very bad. So you want to get all those things updated and corrected. So you want to call all of them, and at this point, this is where your notepad and stuff comes in handy, or you can do like I did and write directly on the credit report. But you want to call them. You want to write down what date you called. You want to write down who you talked to when you called. You want to write down the conversation that you guys had. When you call, you can say, hey, I'm Tara. I have this account with you guys. I see that you guys have it either closed or open, not paid, unsatisfied, or whatever verbiage they use, and say, I want to rectify this. I want to get on a payment plan, or I want to pay, I want to settle, whatever it is that you want to do. Once they come up with a decision and be like, okay, yes, we'll let you get on the payment plan. We'll take off the bad reports, and we'll put you up to date, as current, or whatever the case may be. You tell them, I need that in writing. So usually they'll email you the contract or the agreement you guys come up with, or if it's a bill that's attainable for you to pay right then and there, you can say, hey, I'll if you give me a settlement, if the bill is $500, I have 200, I have 250. Can we settle right now so we can just close this account and get all that bad stuff off of my account? Some companies do that because most of these companies that's buying your debt, your debt has already probably been through 3-4 different hands. At this point, they're just shopping around, and they're gonna keep calling you from different numbers, different companies, to see who's gonna luck up and finally get you to pay. So if you call them and be like, hey, look, I owe you 500, I have 200, or I have 250, or I have 100 if you want to start that low. Look, I can pay you this now. What do you want to do? Then they weren't going to get a payment anyway, because most of those accounts fall off in a certain amount of years, mostly 7 years. So if you haven't paid in 3 years already anyway, and it's on the 4th collector, they probably already knew they weren't getting no payment. So if you do settle for a zero balance or a settlement, you want to get that also in the letter. Once you get that, that's when you'll start your payment plan, or start your payments and stuff on that debt. And the way I did it was, I know one of my friends who was also in the same process. What she did was she knocked out the smaller ones first. So let's just say she had 5 things on her account, and one was for 100, one was for 200, one was for 300, 400, 500. She paid the $100 one first. When she got some more money, she paid the $200 one. Then she paid the $300 one. Then she paid the $400 one. Then she paid the $500 one. You can do it however you want. It's not really a race because your score is already low. You're already in bad standing. But how I did it was, when I made a payment arrangement or a settlement with the companies, if I got $100, I would probably put like 25 on one, 25 on the other one, just so they can know that I'm serious and that I'm making payments. And that to me, I felt like that should reassure them that I'll get this paid. But you can pay it however you want. But you always want to keep receipts Either do it with your banking account, or if you're doing it with a money order, or however you're making those payments, keep receipts, keep receipts, keep receipts. Is all those are all your documentations and verifications on what you did. So once you call those creditors and set up payments or settlements or payment plans or whatever it is, you get your contract or your agreement, and you start making those payments. Just sit back, make the payments, watch your scores go up. You can watch it if you want. I have Karma. I forget what's the name of it. I have that one where they update me weekly on anything that's changed or any derogatory things or good things that have came on my account. So you can do that because it's going to take a while. It's not really going to start jumping until you start really making those payments and closing those accounts out. So that's step 4. Step 5 is to after you did all of those creditors, give it about 30 days, another 30 to 45 days, enough time for them to send those accounts to the credit bureau as unpaid or whatever the agreement that you guys made. And then you want to pull your credit again. So now you have 3 copies of your credit. You have the first one where you started. You have the middle one where you disputed those things and took your notes, and now you should have a clean one where it's only one name, one birthday, one address, the top 5 years of jobs you had, and everything should be in good standing. If anything isn't in good standing, call them back. Hey, what happened? Sometimes they may say they needed more time, or sometimes they hit a roadblock or something, dispute that, or go through them to figure that out. But once you get all of that, all your ducks in line, that's when you want to get to your 5th step, which is basically it's the 5th step, but it's the second phase of cleaning and building your credit. That's when you want to start saying, okay, now my score is this. I needed to get to here. Whatever you want to get, your house, your car, or credit card, or whatever. Now you're going to start needing to get some revolving debt, or some make some payments, or get something that's on your credit to show people you can make payments. So for me, I had always had a car and a car note, so that was good for me. I paid my car note on time, and they were reported to the bureau every month, and that was like a good ding, 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 ding. But for the most part, you need at least 2 to 3 accounts in good standing on your account, on your credit report. So most people always tend to get a secured credit card, because if your score is low and you've got all these things on there, most places aren't going to give you a real credit card. So what I did is I went through Capital One, and I applied for like a regular credit card, got denied, and when they called me, they was like, we can offer you a secured credit card. So I was like, okay, cool. How does that work? So the thing about secured credit cards is it's basically your money. So with the card that I had a $300 limit because that was all the money that I had. So I sent them $300. They put it on a card. It was a credit card. It had a PIN, security code, 16 digits, all of that. When I went to Walmart or Target or got gas, it was a credit card. It worked just like anything else. It was just my money for the security of the bank, of Capital One in this case. So I had that for between like 8 months to a year, or probably like 6, 7, 8 months. And they contacted me because I made all of my payments and stuff. I did everything I had to do. I would possibly just buy groceries or just get gas, and then when the money was due, I would pay it in full. And they saw that history. I built that history in a few months with them. So they called me back and they said, hey, do you want to take your secured credit card and make it into a real credit card? I said, yeah. So they sent me back the $300, and they actually upped the limit to $800. So now I have a real credit card. So that I was still making payments on, and that I was still getting those good dings on my credit score, and my score started to go up a little bit. So let me tell you about how the utilization goes on your credit card. So most people say don't go over 20% or 30% utilization. So for me, I use the 30% utilization. It all depends on what your limit and stuff is. So let's just say you have $1,000 credit card, and you don't want to use the 30. You don't want to use 30% of the utilization. So let's say the $1,000 credit card and 30% is $300. So what you would do is every month you would not use over $300. And when the bill was due, you would try at the most try to pay that $300 back when the bill was due. Because once your bill is due, the creditors, they I'm sorry, not the creditors, the account holders, they will contact the credit bureau and say every month on a specific date, if you paid, if you're late, if you was how much you paid, if you went over your utilization, if you went under your utilization, all of those things are reported every month to the credit bureau. So you want to keep in mind when you start getting your credit cards to keep it at least a 30 to 40% utilization every month, and try your hardest to pay back whatever you spend. If you don't have it, don't spend it. Even, it doesn't matter. Your score is going to go up regardless if you did $30 in gas or $300 in groceries. If you don't have $300 to pay back for the groceries, don't use it, because you'll get a bad ding. So so far we have the car note, have a secure credit card that turned into a real credit card. Once you get your real credit card, that's when you can sort of move around a little bit more, and you can start applying for different places. So for me, once I got the $800 credit card from from Capital One, I applied for Navy Federal. I had already had a personal account with them anyway, so I applied for Navy Federal and got another credit card, and I was accepted, and I did the same thing with that. Made sure I kept up with my payments, made sure I didn't overspend, and made sure I just paid on time. And my score just drastically went up. And that's just basically the start of how you want to start doing those things with building, fixing, and maintaining your credit. The more you do to it, the more it'll go up. So that's just my little tidbit on basically how to fix and make your credit work for you. Again, like in all of my other videos, these things aren't taught to us in the Black community. Like we don't learn this in school. I didn't even learn this at home. Like I had to learn this in trial and error with trying to get myself situated and do better for me and my daughter, and buy my house and get my car and stuff. So I hope this video was helpful to someone. If you can, please make a comment, yays, nays, pros, cons, anything I missed, anything I got wrong. Please comment, subscribe to my channel. I look forward to talking to you guys soon. Bye.